Hi, this is Teacher Igor and welcome to a brand new video. Today we're going to talk about how to become a native level English speaker without living or even staying in an English speaking country. Let's do it. I have a question for you guys. Do you think it's important to visit or live in a foreign country to learn their language? Some of you might say, yes, of course. This is the best way to figure out the slang of the native speakers, their culture, their habits, and so many things that are not accessible to people living in different countries. While others might say that it's not that important. You can learn English at school or visit a language center, go there and have classes with native level speakers or native speakers that are going to teach you all the basics. But what if I told you that you don't need any schools, you don't need any language centers, and most importantly, you don't need to spend an egregious amount of money on expensive tickets to travel to a different country to figure English out? Yes, you heard me right. Today, we have this. Technology has revolutionized the way we learn, and I'm actually a prime example of exactly that. Today, I'm a native level English speaker from Russia. I have passed the IELTS exam with 8.5. I'm a teacher, which is my job. I've also passed the TOEIC exam with 990 points, which is the maximum, and all of that happened from the comfort of my own home. I've never stepped foot on the soil of an English-speaking country. I've never been to the US, I've never been to the UK, not Australia, not even Canada, none of those countries. I was born and raised in Russia. I've visited some European countries like Italy and Switzerland, where I actually barely spoke any English, to be honest with you. And now I live in Bangkok, Thailand, and I'm pursuing teaching as my full-time career. But enough about me. In the next few minutes, I'm going to tell you exactly what you can do to become more proficient in English from the comfort of your own home. Are you ready? Let's start. Step 1. Identify your weak points. To become a master in speaking, you need to develop 4 main skills. And they were perfectly identified by the British Council, an organization that conducts the IELTS exam and different other exams as well. So, what are they? They are, first of all, grammar skills. Secondly, broad vocabulary. Thirdly, pronunciation, clear pronunciation. And the fourth thing is fluency. Fluency is basically an ability to speak without too many pauses, interruptions, and also without repeating yourself too much. But the problem for many people is that they usually don't know which of these areas is actually lacking. So, you might think that your pronunciation is really good, but every time you listen to a recording of your voice, you think it's not even yours, right? You think it's someone else, and you notice all the different mistakes that you make in your vocabulary, in grammar as well. So to figure out which area is suffering, I recommend you visit this website. On this website, go to the speaking section, take 15 minutes out of your day, and do the speaking test. You won't get a score here, but you will get a good feeling which area is suffering the most. You can record your own voice over there, and then you can listen back to it and assess your performance. Also, for reference, I'm going to leave this link in the description where you can go and take a look at different criteria for your speaking skills. And this way you will be able to figure out which area needs the most improvement. And in the comments, please tell me which area you feel like you're suffering the most with: grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, or fluency. Tell me in the comments, and it's always nice to read your comments, guys. I always appreciate them, and I will try to reply to each of them as soon as possible. After you identify the weakest area, you will need to work on it a little bit more. But, of course, don't forget the other areas as well, as they are very important too. So, how do we improve in all of those areas? I've identified 4 ways that help me the most to become proficient in English. Number 1, imitate pronunciation. And here what I recommend you do is go to YouTube and find a really proficient speaker or a native speaker who is going to talk about your interests. They can be YouTubers, or if you're younger, you can go to Twitch and find some streamers that talk about things that you're interested in. Listen carefully to how those speakers actually speak. Especially pay attention to their inflections. Also, take a look at which words they stress so that you know which you can stress in your own speech, and pay attention to intonation. From time to time, you're going to find some vocabulary and some sentences quite interesting. So what I want you to do is repeat after the speaker. Do it exactly as they do, and this will help you improve your pronunciation quite a lot. Also, try to notice the words that you always pronounce wrong. You will hear plenty of them, so try to imitate them as well. This is the best way to improve your pronunciation, your vocabulary, and even your grammar skills, because you are going to use the same grammar that the native speaker or a fluent speaker uses. And it's fun, because this is something you're interested in, which is exactly what we want. Number 2, read non-fiction books and articles. Non-fiction is the key word here, alright? Let me tell you a little story. When I was a young teenager, the first book that I decided to read in English was a fiction book. It was called The Great Gatsby. Probably you've seen the movie, or maybe you have read the book in your own language, but this was the book that I read first. And the thing about that book is, as I was reading, my English skill wasn't that terrible, to be honest with you, but I couldn't understand half of the words. Well, the reason why is because fiction books use a lot of vocabulary that is not utilized in daily life, which is a huge disadvantage for those who are trying to learn English. So, what I recommend you do is pick up non-fiction books. The first non-fiction book that I read was Franklin's autobiography. I decided to read it when I was at a hospital, actually. So it was kind of sad, but at the same time kind of interesting as well. So I picked up that book, and the way Franklin wrote 300 years ago is not that different from how we speak today. It made it infinitely easier for me to grasp the information and to understand what he was trying to deliver. And it was really helpful in terms of improving my skills. The following books that I decided to read were books on economics, finance, marketing, psychology, and many other non-fiction books. And I believe that you can do it too. Find the genre that you're most interested in, buy the books or download them if you feel that it's more comfortable for you, and you're good to go. But when you read them, try to write down some of the vocabulary that you don't know on a sticky note, just like I taught you in the previous video. So choose 3 to 5 words or expressions, try to define them in English, or if you can't, try to use a translation as well. Put them on a sticky note, write them down, and put them on the bathroom mirror, so that every time you enter your bathroom, you see them, and you can try to memorize them and repeat them every time you get a chance. And this, in my opinion, is the best way to improve your vocabulary and improve your grammar as well. Number 3, practice speaking out loud. When there is no one at home, or when you are alone in your room, you can always try to talk to yourself in English. You don't have to do it too loud. You can just, talk with your normal voice, or even whisper if you like, but try to do it for 5 to 10 minutes a day. It doesn't have to be long, but 5 to 10 minutes would be pretty nice. To elevate your exercise, you can actually take your phone, go to a voice memo app, and record yourself. Now, what can you talk about when you actually record yourself, right? The first thing that comes to mind is talk about what you've read in the book that we just talked about in step 2. After you finish the book, you can always try to summarize the ideas that were mentioned there. And this is also going to improve your vocabulary. Another thing you can talk about is what happened during the day. You can summarize your day and discuss some ideas or some things that you learned during the course of the day. Honestly, in this step, you can literally talk about anything that comes to your head. If you want to discuss things that happened during the day, it's fine. If you want to talk about your current environment and describe it as well, it's fine. Just do it for 5 to 10 minutes so that you can practice your speaking. There are no rules here. Just record yourself speak if it's possible. Then listen back to your recording. Try to spot the mistakes. Try to spot the mistakes in pronunciation, grammar, vocabulary. Try to correct yourself. Say it one more time without recording it, and you're good to go. And number 4, think in English. I've discussed this extensively in my previous video. Please go watch and check it out. It's going to be linked in the description and hopefully over here. So go check it out. Try the strategy that I laid out in that video. I think it's pretty good. So just give it a try. And there you have it. These are the 4 ways that I think are best for non-native English learners to improve their English pronunciation, vocabulary, grammar, and fluency from the comfort of your own home. It's true that it takes a certain amount of discipline, curiosity, and motivation, but since you're watching this video, I assume that you are interested in becoming better at English. So I hope that you're going to follow through on these steps and take them, do them diligently, and of course, you're going to see the results after some time. So that's the end of the video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel because I'm going to make more of these videos and your support is very much appreciated. And don't forget to comment your weakest English speaking point. I will definitely read all of the comments. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.